Hello everyone, this is Ms. Cromwell and I'm going over our weekly homework assignments. This week we are just honing in on those addition and subtraction skills. We've been learning a lot of different strategies. So talk to your student to find out which strategy they like. If you have additional questions about whatever strategy your child likes the most, let me know. I can definitely give you some more information. That way everyone is on the same page, because we all want the same thing, for your child to be successful and to feel confident when they are doing their work. So for this one, find the sums. We have 58 plus 59. Make sure your student is always starting in the ones place and then moving on. So we have 8 plus 9. A lot of students are using their fingers, which is fabulous. I always tell them they can definitely use those. But unfortunately, they're going so fast that it's not typically correct. So in class, one of the strategies that I really like is using a hundreds chart. So if I go 58 plus 59, so in my ones place I have 8 plus 9. If I'm at 8, so here's my hundreds chart. If I'm at 8, I'm going to circle it, 8, and I'm going to add 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You end up at 17. All right, so if you come back on your paper, well, can I put 17 in the ones place? Well, you can't put both digits, but you can put 1. So you put the 7 in the ones place and then the 1 in the tens. So in the tens place, you have 1 plus 5 plus 5, and then same thing. Some students are able to figure that out on your fingers or in your head, but you can also do it on your hundreds chart. So I'm going to erase what I had. So if I start at 1 and add, start at 1, add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so now I'm at 6. Now I need to add 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to put 11. And so I would tell students to do the same thing. Go ahead and put the 1 here and then add another 1 in the 100 spot. And then, of course, you'll have 1 plus nothing, which is just 1. So 58 plus 59 is 117. Another suggestion, I've noticed some students when they are using their hundreds charts is that they're going super fast. So for instance, like for 4 plus 8, students are at 4 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that one. And I'm like, well, you got to slow down. So another suggestion I have for some students is like on B, we have 64 plus 18. So in the one spot, we have 4 plus 8, 4. And then adding 8. So under each of these, like actually writing the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, what number did you stop on? I stopped on 12. Oops. So then you can put your 2 here, carry your 1, and then same thing. So, it seems redundant. However, this going back and, over and over again is really going to help them get more fluent with their math skills. So 1, and now I'm going to add 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm at 7, plus 1 more. Now I'm at 8. So 82. Looking at the bottom are 2 word problems. And in class, we have not started going through those in detail. We will by the end of the week. So if your student is looking at you like, I don't know, please be patient. Some students are moving faster than others. So we're trying to keep everybody kind of on the same page, but also we don't want everyone, like some students, to fall behind. So it's been an interesting dynamic. All right. So for the word problems, we want your child to be able to read these. Any teacher in 3rd grade, we are not allowed to read these to your student. So if reading is hard, I cannot stress it enough how important it is to be reading at home to an adult, because us adults are going to be able to look at it and say, that doesn't sound right. and like stop the child. Whereas if a child is just reading to themselves, they don't know if they got it right or not, especially if reading is not something they're strong at. Right? So we have Max's dog buried 14 bones in the garden. He buried 26 more the next day. How many bones did he bury altogether? So again, we have not gotten to this yet. We will probably, I think I want to say Thursday, I believe. So if your student's like, I don't know, it's okay. So there's various ways to do this. Ask your student if we're adding or subtracting. I mean, at the top of our page, it does say addition. But I would still like you to ask your student, are we adding or subtracting? And how do you know? So they should say adding. And then it says, oh, because it's asking how many they have all together. So some students are going to be able to see that and do 14 plus 26. Other students, it's going to be harder. And then that method, we will do part, whole. So it looks like a table like this. Like that. So it doesn't really matter if it's at the top or the bottom. But at the top, I like to do part, and at the bottom, whole. So it says we have 14 one day, 26 the next, and then we need to figure out how much it would be all together. You're going to get the same answer both ways, but it's just another strategy. 4 plus 6. Again, pull out that. If you don't want to use your fingers, pull out your hundreds chart. If you're at 4. Then we got 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 1 equals 10. And then doing the same thing. We have 1, so we'll start here. Add 1 more. Now you're at 2. If you're at 2, then add 2 more. 1, 2, and now you're at 4. If your student would benefit from a hundreds chart to have at home, please let me know. I mean, there are some, you can Google and find pretty much anything, but if it's easier for you to have something at home for your student to use, please let me know. I will send it home. I really don't mind. Just whatever is going to help them be successful. And then M is the same way. Please stress to your student that we have some type of show work. So I have a lot of students just putting like 14 plus 26. I don't see the carry 1. They just write 40. I'm like, how'd you get to that? So that is how we're doing that one. On the back is subtraction. And this is where we are having the biggest concern with students. Regrouping is very hard. Out of my class of 18, I think I've got about 2 or 3 who get it consistently. Another handful who are, pretty close, but not quite. And then a lot who keep flipping. So we always tell students that in subtraction, order matters. So for instance, we have 35 minus 17. A lot of kids see 5 minus 7, and they're like, oh, that's 2, because they want to put the set. They know you got to have a bigger number on top. But unfortunately, with subtraction, that does not work. Okay, so we can do this in a variety of ways. I will show you the one way that eventually everyone is hopefully going to get mastered on. That is the goal in the next week, hopefully, because we have a test soon. So we have 35 minus 17. Start in the ones place, you have a 5. If you have 5, can you take away 7? And the answer is no. What do you have to do? You got to ask your neighbor. So if we take 1 away from our neighbor, that 3 becomes a 2. And then you're just going to put the 1 directly on top of, like right next to that 5. Now you have 15. 15 minus 7, we should get 8. Again, use your hundreds chart as needed. And then in your tens place, you have 2 minus 1, which is 1. I had some parents reach out and ask, why are we telling students just to take 1 from this one and add 1 over here? There are not many students in the class that are grasping that when we take 1 away, we're actually adding 10. So when I first introduced it like that, instead of this becoming 15, there was a lot of students just saying that was 10. So we're hoping this will help fix that misunderstanding. I'm going to come over to this one over here, 72 minus 7, because this is a great simple one we can do on a hundreds chart. So 72 minus 7, you start in the one spot, you have 2. Can I take away 7? The answer is no. So another method is your hundreds chart. We started at 72. I'm going to circle 72. Am I adding or subtracting? I am subtracting. So students need to know if we are subtracting, we are going backwards on the hundreds chart. If you're adding, you're going forwards. So we are subtracting 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 65 would be the answer for that. So whichever is easiest for your child, but we're really trying to work on these strategies because a lot of students are not wanting to do their work and they don't want to double check. So please stress your student. It is very important to go back and double check your answers. And then again, we have the word problems. Meg had a lemonade stand. She bought 24 lemons. She used 16 of them to make lemonade. How many lemons did she have left? So you should be asking your student, are we adding or subtracting? They should say subtracting. You should ask them, how do they know? Because I want them to justify their answers. And they're going to say, because we want to know how many she had left. Or it's like, because she used them. Right? If you use them, they're not there anymore. So I need to see them stack those numbers. If they just write a number right here, I'm like, where did that even come from? How did you get there? So 24 minus 16. Again, they can use their hundreds chart, or we can come over here. We have 4. Can we take away 6? The answer is no. So we're going to borrow 1. That 2 becomes a 1. That 4 becomes a 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. 1 minus 1 is 0. So 8 would be, if I do not have some type of, I need to see that they stacked them, because otherwise I'm like, where did this number come from? I want to know that they know how to do it. On the back is our normal comprehension check. We've been doing these all year so far. Wednesday and Thursdays look a little different, just because we finished one package, so now we're going to the next. But it's still trying to get this so you can see it. It's still a short little passage with, you can't see it, but there's 5 questions. Make sure your student is reading these to you, and make sure they are annotating. We don't care if they're using the red, orange, yellow, green to do it. They can annotate it with their pencils. That is fine. But the biggest thing is annotating. That is a huge issue for the majority. I want to say all. Actually, I feel like it's the majority for pretty much all 3rd graders. They do not want to go back to the passage. And it is negatively impacting their grades and how successful they are. So that is one thing I strongly suggest and encourage. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please reach out. I know I've heard from a few parents that, these passages are way, way below 3rd grade level. This is 1st grade level, and which I agree with. This is nowhere near 3rd grade. But the reasoning that we are doing this is because I need students to annotate. I need them to get used to going back to the text to find their text evidence to justify their answers. My goal is next week that homework is going to be differentiated. So everyone's homework is going to be looking a little different. But we're going to figure this out together. I'm always here if you have questions. Have a great week.